Well, good morning. Happy day after Christmas. I hope you had a wonderful time. If you celebrate Hanukkah, I hope that you had 8 days of blessings. And if you celebrate Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. My name is Alicia, and I am the Fanciful Flamingo. This is not going to be my normal floss tube. I had mentioned last week that I would bring you along every day this week as I gear up my preparations for the new year. Some of you had asked me about the organization in my craft room, and I will be taking you along with me as I do that this week, and how I plan for the coming year and for stitching my stash in 2023. So today I'm actually in my husband's study because there's no room for me to spread out on the table in my craft room to look over what I want to do in the coming year. And I have some things that I'm going to gear up for the year, but my plan really is to just plan a month in advance. So I'm going to sit here today and look at what I want to stitch in January. I am a planner, so I feel like planning ahead gives me actually more creativity. It doesn't stress me out as much. If I have certain things that I know on certain days I'm going to do. And so it's just a no-brainer. Pick it up, stitch on it, and go. So let's see if y'all can see. I have this. This is my Happy Planner that I'm using in conjunction with planner pages from the Naptime Stitcher, Katie. And so because, and I know you have heard this a million times, I came back to stitching last year. I was an extremely seasonal stitcher. And by the end of the year, I just wasn't enjoying that. So I decided to break it up in 2023. Flags on the 4th. I've said it before. That idea came to me from Lindsay Waite, Primrose Cottage Stitches, and she's been very generous. And she has quite a few flag freebies to get you started if you don't have patriotic stitches. I do not decorate my entire house for every season. I am a big fall and Christmas, but the remainder of the year, I really just focus on my front entrance table and the little dough bowl. And then a little tier tray that I have kind of in my kitchen eating area. And that's really my main focus for decorating throughout the year. So I like to do a lot of little smalls and pillows. So the 4th of every month, I will stitch on some kind of patriotic small. And then on the 13th of the month, I will either do a Halloween or a fall small. So these that I have kind of sectioned out for every month are going to be smalls. The 14th will be a Valentine's or a love kind of stitch. The 17th will be a St. Patty's Day. The 20th of the month will be a spring stitch, whether it be spring or Easter. The 21st will be summer, and I base those on I think it's the 20th of March that is the official first day of spring, and the 21st of June is the official first day of summer. So on the 22nd of every month, which is my birthday, I'm going to stitch something for my craft room. I would really like to get some stitchy fun stuff in my craft room. And obviously on the 25th of every month, I'll do a Christmas or a winter. And these will all be stitched for my stash because I bought a lot of these patterns this year and bought more than I could get to. So what I've done is I have a little box here, clear box, and today I will pull out, and I've already done some, that I feel like I would want to stitch in January. So this is the one that I have pulled out for the 13th. I do a joyful journal the first day of every month from Heart and Hand. I started in July. So January 1st, I'll do the one for February so I can put it out on my tier tray. So I do have that one. And then for Flags on the 4th, oh, it's a Heart and Hand kind of month. I picked this one from my stash. And I'll go ahead and kit these up today. I realized when I was finishing some whips at the end of the year, and I don't carry a ton of whips, but when I was finishing the whips at the end of the year, how much floss I was able to put back into circulation. So that's why I don't want to kit them too far up in advance, because then inevitably I go looking for a floss that I know I have and I can't find it. But these I'm going to get to in January, so I'll have these all kitted up, and on the day I'll be ready to go. I'm also going to do, my Christmas one will be the 1996 Prairie School Santa, because that's the year I got married, so I want to do that one. This year I have 6 that I've already pulled out for 2023, because that was my goal, to do 6 Prairie School Santas in 2023. And Prairie Schoolers, although they are stitch intensive, are blocks of color. So they stitch up really quickly. You're not changing color a lot. The wee Santas that I love have a lot of color. So today I'll go in and I will look for something for spring, something for summer, something for St. Patrick's Day to add to my box for January. These are smalls, and they also, I started a Christmas start yesterday, Ode to Joy, that I want to work on Sundays. And I also still have Clara Hansen to work on. And January 1st, I'll start 2 sals. My New Year's sampler, which is the Peacock sampler, which I'm doing with a Nightly Stitcher, and Maker and Mender, which I'm doing with Tipsy Rabbit Group from Jingle Ball, and also to celebrate Becca Sambry Stitcher's birthday. So in January, I will do 2 sals, but I do want to really be purposeful with the sals that I pick this year, because last year I kind of wanted to join all of them because they're all so much fun. But it got to a point where it was overwhelming and I wasn't enjoying them. And I know they can be start-alongs. I know we can finish them whenever we want, but I don't like carrying out open-ended projects for months and months and months and months. So that's just a me thing. And that's, everybody's different. And that's what's great about this wonderful hobby. But I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this. I'm a little, while planning also calms me, the process of planning stresses me. So it's taken me a few days to really even just sit down and really want to pick my stitches. I have these are, I don't know if you can see the pile. These are all of my patterns that I want to do for my craft room. So that's the next thing I'm going to do, is sit down and look through them and pick what's going to be my craft room pattern stitch for January. And then I bought these from the Naptime Stitcher. She was nice enough to make these. So I've already put the months down, and I will write out the patterns that I pick. And then my clear boxes are sectioned out seasonally still. So all of my Valentine's Day patterns are in one box, and this sheet will go in there so that every month I can just go in and look and see what I picked. If I don't feel like it that month, I can switch it around. It's sort of like my menu for the week. But at least I'll kind of have an idea. And look at that. Already just in Valentine's Day stitches, I'm going to be stitching 12 patterns from my stash, which means that if I need flosses, I can get them, or if I need fabric, I can get them, because that's sort of the premise of Stitch Your Stash, is one of your items from your stitch has to be from your stash that month. I am lacking in fabric. I did sign up for 2023 for Grace Notes and Be Stitch Me fabric subscriptions so that I can get fabric every month, and I like the idea of them sending me something because I tend to go to the same fabric all of the time. And even though I picked neutrals, there'll be different neutrals that I will have, and I have picked a higher stitch count because I do want to get into the higher stitch counts, although I've backed off of the linen, and I am doing 32 count even weave to get used to that. So that is my goal for 2023, is to be comfortable stitching on 32 count even weave. So that's a little bit of how I am starting this week to plan out 2023. Can't believe it's the last week of the year, but I hope it gives you some ideas. If you have some ways that you plan out your year or things that you like to do stitching wise, please leave them in the comments because I'd love to read them. And I hope you have a great 26th day of December. Bye, guys.